sometimes awakening and remembering is beautiful. It's always beautiful. Awakening and remembering is so painful, breaking through constructs of the mind, the psyche, seeing things as they really are, painful. I think that's why so many of us don't do it, and that's why people call it like doing the work, because it hurts. It's painful and I'm constantly cracking open portals and everything's deepening. And I'm just remembering that the whole of life on earth has turned its back on the prime source of energy that we owe all of this to, and it's mother energy. And it's huge. It is everything. It's everything that's wrong. And it's so deep. So systematic. It's leaked into our social norms, into our minds, into our stories. Our whole spirituality, it's so simple. It's just what created us, what is the energy that created us, and we see it biologically. It's the same thing. We come from mother. And then you even look at relationships with our own mothers. They're the hardest relationships on earth. Fathers' relationships can be difficult too. I think mother relationship is so intense. Like, we all go through a stage, you know, in our teenage years where we just, you know, we kind of reject mother because the relationship is too much. It's like, I came from your vagina, I sucked on your nipples, you sacrificed your whole life and everything that you were before making me to make me, and you gave me everything. And that sacrifice, these women, and getting their rights taken away from them from the moment that they're pregnant. The man has a say. He shouldn't have any say. Her body, her say. And bit by bit she hands her power over to this patriarchal system that's built on religious lies of control, manipulation, patriarchy, not honoring the mother. And everything that woman does is not deeply felt and not deeply appreciated. Even if you are the most loving, conscious man, there is parts of what this woman is doing, the things that are going on in her body and the things that she's breaking down in her psyche to step into motherhood is something that male will never understand, especially male. Masculine energy, male-bodied people who are completely poisoned by the patriarchy of the world. It's everything from what we teach little girls. We don't teach them anything. Us girls have our first bleed. And we're scared and we're embarrassed and everyone shames us. And if you have a great mother, she might teach you how to use a tampon or tell you that it's really special, but you hate it. No one tells you that it's imprinted with codes from the source of all creation. So we shove chemical-filled tampons up our vaginas and we take pills to get rid of the pain because we don't understand. And we get nervous to tell people what we're going through because we don't even know. It's I used to take contraception and get to the point with the sugar pills and think, why would I want this? No one told me that blood has ancient codes in it from the source of all life itself. There's nothing more religious and magical than the blood from the womb of a woman. Nothing. We've got nations sending people to war in name of religions. We've got racism in name of religions. We've got raping women. All of our mothers, all of our grandmothers have been raped. We do the same to our earth. The same system doesn't honor woman, doesn't honor womb, doesn't honor the mother that we live on, this very entity that feeds us everything. We have to get back to this, remembering everything comes back to the mother. I've been working in plant medicine for a long time, which is literally obviously mother medicine, and doing a lot of my own healing, studying mind body therapy and trauma therapy, and all of our biggest, deepest wounds and the way that we relate to each other and the world come back to and start with the unresolved grief of our mother and what she gives us, what we take on from her while we're in the womb. Then those 9 months in the womb, what she's eating, what she's thinking, her spiritual practices, her beliefs about the world, her everything that is what we are made out of. She makes us from all that she is. And then we come out into the world, and that first 12 months, what we receive from our mother and our father, but mostly our mother, and the environment in which we're all living together, that shapes the way what we believe about the world, how safe we feel in the world, how we trust other people, how we connect to the world, and how we connect to other people. This is the most crucial thing. If you are going through anything in your life, any traumas, troubles, something that you're trying to get over, a habit, an addiction, bring it back as far as before contraception, pregnancy, first year of birth, and that's where you'll find big things. And then chronic diseases, women's chronic diseases. You know that as far as like psychotherapy and psychology goes, it took years before anyone started doing any studies on women. There was all men, even male rats, they were performing experiments on and applying all of that same stuff to women. That's how deep the patriarchy is. We've just been labeled as the same. We look at the muscular system we get taught at school. We don't have images of the female muscular system. It's totally different. We have things that they don't have. And the thing about this is, in this situation, males have privilege, and privilege is something that you haven't fought for. You've just been handed, and because it's a privilege, you do not see it. And this is really, really something that it's the most important thing for us to remember, and it will save us, for us to remember the Mother Goddess as the source of all creation, and that deserves to be honored and treated as the most sacred. This is the way that we treat our women. It's the way that we treat our mothers, the way we speak to our mothers. You see it everywhere. What are the biggest jokes, the biggest, cruelest thing you can say to someone all over the world in any language? It's abusing someone's mother. Abusing the vagina of someone's mother. That's because the vagina of your mother is the most powerful thing in the whole universe. Is the vagina, the vagina. The whole thing, the vagina, the womb, the yoni, the temple of life. Where we all come from. How have we forgotten where we've come from? How can we grow up and abuse our mother, hurt our mother, ignore our mother? How can we go on then to rape girls, rape anyone? How can what happens to a young man to go to the point from where he's born from his mother, and then he transitions, he grows up and ends up someone who takes advantage of young girls, rapes girls, beats up women? Like, what is that journey? This is the same journey that we've all gone through as a patriarchal system. Growing up, drinking the tit from the teats, the breasts of the mother, coming from the womb, symbolic for eating off the land. Everything that we consume comes from the earth. Water, food, air, like we know this, come on. Everything that we need comes from the earth, and we're fucking driving our cars and then throwing shit out of our cars. We're working in fucking mining developments because it makes lots of money, really raping and ripping our home. This is the same thing as a baby boy being born from the womb, feeding off the breasts of his mother, and then ending up someone who rapes and bashes women. This is the same journey that many of us would shame a man for doing something like that. And many men would shame other men for doing that, not realizing that they've actually done that sort of stuff themselves, but thought it was okay because she was just a little bit unconscious. She was just a little bit drunk. She didn't say no, but she was really drunk. She only said no twice. She didn't mean it, you know? We would shame that situation, but we are all doing that to our home, to our planet. And we are all consumed with facts. And where does our information come from? Oh, it comes from the news, and it comes from television, and it comes from magazines and newspapers, and scientists, and that's where the facts come from. I'll tell you where the facts come from. The facts are in the blood. Facts come from the blood of the womb. Facts come from your experience. Knowledge, not even facts, knowledge, wisdom comes from your experience. Comes from your experience of honoring the mother, honoring the goddess, honoring the earth. It comes from the sunshine and the birds singing and the way that the trees move in the wind. That's where our real information and our remembering comes from. This brainwashing, these illusions are so deep, but if you boil every fucking little thing down, it comes back to how your relationship with your physical mother, her relationship with you in the womb, her relationship with her mother, her relationship with her mother. Trace back the maternal ancestral line, and you will find out who you are. And then it comes back to, are you eating a diet that is of the earth? It doesn't have to be a vegan diet. If you know, every now and then I eat a little bit of game. I eat some kangaroo. That's my personal preference. But how much of what you're eating is natural and how much of it is artificial and chemical? Are you eating out of a factory or are you eating off the land? How genetically modified is the food that you're eating? How chemically artificial is the food that you're eating? The more you get rid of that, the more you will look at what you're eating and you'll be like, oh my God, everything here has grown in a garden. I'm eating gardens. I'm eating sunshine and water mixed with earth, making colors and nutrients and vitamins and minerals that are both delicious and beautiful. Oh my God, I am connected to everything. This is going to be a really painful time. This is a painful time for everybody. But what I'm seeing right now and what I'm feeling is I can see the tip of it all. The tip of it all is divine mother goddess energy, and that we are remembering that that is the most important thing to honor. And that the first step is our sisters, the women who are bleeding right now, coming home, remembering that the blood that comes from them is encoded with source energy from the source of the whole universe, the creator of the universe, the information of the creator, from the creator of the universe, the mother goddess, is in your blood. And once a month for 3 days, when the blood is coming out, we are our most connected to source. We are most connected to source. We are receiving information from beyond this material world. And this is something we need to talk about, because we need to take back our rightful place here. Right now in the world, it's still men up here, women up here, down here. Now, you know, I'm not talking about gender. I don't care about your gender. Gender is something completely different to what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bodies. And I know there are many beings that don't, you know, that are, that don't, yeah, maybe that don't feel that their gender connects with their bodies. I pray that these people feel connected to the bodies that they're given. But I'm speaking about male-bodied women, yeah, male-bodied people and female-bodied people. I don't care about, doesn't matter how you represent, what you wear, what you like being called. It's whether you have a womb or not. So if you have a womb, the womb itself is an initiation. The womb itself, if you're born with a womb, I believe, this is my truth, that you've lived many other lives, doing many different things that allowed you to be at this point, to be a carrier of the womb. It is an initiation in itself to be born with a womb. To say, yes, I'm going to incarnate with the portal of life within me. Male-bodied people, their job and their duty and their role, their initiation is just as important. It's, I'm going to incarnate to protect and support the mother, the portal of life within the women. And we can't do it without each other, which is very beautiful. But because women hold the portal of life within themselves, and bleeding women, because we bleed the information directly from source, We are walking goddesses on the earth. We must take back our place in society. And it's going to look like this. Hey, brothers, this is what I am. This is what I go through. This is what I feel. It's what I connect to. And share that information with our brothers. But we got to do that work ourselves. There's no mothers, grandmothers. There's no one initiating us. We are initiating ourselves back into womanhood. The information is out there. There's ancient text, ancient information out there. And so many amazing women, womb witches, waking up to this information. You are not far from someone who can teach you more and more and more. But your body and your bleed are your greatest teachers. If you give yourself 3 days during your bleed where you are with your phone off and listening, setting up altars, writing things, dancing, moving, meditating, sleeping, you'll receive information to help you to understand what you are. Paint with your blood, put your blood on your face, pour your blood in your bathtub, have a blood bath. It will start to speak to you. Speak to the mother goddess during this time so that her information can come through you. And then we will begin to realize what we are, and we will take our place here. Not here, where we do what our men tell us to do without thinking or feeling, where we agree that, yeah, you're right, facts are more important than feelings. Yeah, you're right, thoughts over intuition. No. We come up here and we go, a woman's intuition is the most powerful thing in the universe. So, what I feel really matters. My dreams, my visions, my insights really matter. Because I bleed monthly and I'm communing with the other side. When it's time for me to give birth, or mothers, those of you who already have, you understand that your job is to bring souls from other dimensions into this dimension onto the earth. Therefore, you hold the dimensional doorway of life in your body. And every time we bleed, we are tapping into that world. We are more connected to the spiritual world. We are the oracles. We are the medicine women. We bring that information that we cannot reach from just the material world back home onto the earth. And we say, hey, this is what I've learned. All ancient tribes, and, obviously that's a bold statement for me to say all ancient tribes, but I'm going to bet on it. Bet my blood on it. All ancient tribes had spiritual leaders, spiritual teachers, medicine men and women, shamans, oracles, people that were, like our politicians, making choices for the tribe. Making choices with the tribe. We're consulted when choices needed to be made. So there's no hierarchy in tribes. It's like, okay, so this is what everyone does. We all come together, we make a decision, we consult the ancestors, because the elders, because they're the wise people. They've lived through more than we have. So we ask the old people, what do you think about this decision that us young people have made? And then we ask the women, is it okay if we go ahead with this? We ask women because the women create life. So how can we make any choices about life when we don't consult those who create it themselves? Women have the final say because they hold the portal of life within themselves. They know what creation is. They can bleed on it. Then, we have the shamans and the oracles and the medicine people, and we go to them and say, what do the ancestors say? What do the spirits say? What do the star beings say? This is all connected. This place, powerful place, honoring women and the goddess, honoring the mother and honoring spirit, two potent, important places that are not being recognized in our society. And that's why we're fucked up. That's why it's not working. Anyone who wants to try and go backwards, or thinks that things are going to go back to normal, well, as long as you've lived, normal has been pretty fucked up and we've all known that it's getting worse. People are living with chronic illness, mental illness. Why would anyone be mentally ill living in the Garden of Eden, connected to earth and the mother? There's no reason. Any anxiety is separation anxiety, separation from the truth, separation from your mother, separation from Mother Goddess. This is the time for us to come home, and women, sisters, we are leading the way. We are doing it ourselves. We are holding each other and we are coming back, and we will come here to meet our brothers. This is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I demand. And this is why. We're going to paint our blood on the faces of our brothers because they're going to ask us to. Our brothers are going to recognize that, looking at their whole lives and the way that they've lived, that they are craving to return to the arms of their mother and suck the nipples of their mother. Every man just wants connection with Mother Goddess. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever. Every single human is reaching, screaming to reconnect with the Mother Goddess. Once the brothers realize that it is in women themselves, and once women realize that it's in women themselves, then shifts are going to start to happen. A lot of tantric practices, teachings, teach men how to sexually satisfy women and how to treat women, how to encourage women's orgasms, and how to respect and honor their yonis, because it's believed that the women's body releases these healing juices from under the tongue and the breasts and the yoni that literally heal and enhance the spiritual and physical well-being of the masculine, the males. So it is inevitable that anyone who's sick, what our sick brothers, what they need, what they're yearning for is what we've got. It doesn't have to be sexual or romantic. Brother-sister stuff. Think of it, if you like, as brother-sister stuff. It doesn't matter. All of us need to be honoring the mother, honoring the goddess. When that happens, when we get the respect and the honoring that we deserve and that we deserve from ourselves, from each other, and from our brothers, then we will have so much more energy to give to everything else that this whole world will completely change. Our warriors will be fed. Our warriors will have their needs met. They will be held. They will be nurtured. They will be fed. They will be sexually pleased. They'll be given the best head jobs of their life. They will be happy and strong and powerful, and then something amazing will happen. Then our brothers will stand down. Willingly, lovingly, respectfully, they will get down as if proposing marriage on their knee, looking up at the Mother Goddess with gratitude and honor and thanks. And from here, we will kiss them. We will never stand on their faces or kick their heads in or abuse that power, because women don't do that. Conscious, connected goddess, mother energy does not abuse anything. This is my vision. This is what I see happening on earth. Women have been poisoned. We have been poisoned. We abuse the mother. I've got home videos of my dad videoing in front of his 3 daughters going, "Oh, look at that fat ass," to my own mother. This is common. This is normal behavior. How are you treating your sisters? How are you treating your women? How do you treat your mother? How do you treat your grandmother? Why are our women so sick? I'll tell you why our men are sick. Our men are sick because our women are sick. But why are our women so sick? Because the systems, the economic, the social, the religious systems, political systems that run the world have been brainwashed to abuse the mother. And the realization of this and the active intention, the intentional action placed into coming home to honoring the goddess, brothers showing up and saying, what can I do? Teach me, show me, help me to understand. If a brother is honoring the goddess, that's him honoring his own body. If you honor your own body and the floor that you walk on, that's honoring your mother. The biggest disrespect you can give to your mother is fucking up your own life. She gave everything to bring you into existence, sacrificed everything. So for you to abuse yourself is the biggest abuse to your mother. So when you start to respect the mother goddess in all things, you love yourself, you love your life, you love your body. You take actions towards taking care of that. Nurturing yourself with good water, good food, good company, turning off that television, putting that bong down, moving your body, opening up your mind, prayer, gratitude, connection. That's just day one of the blood cave, so I'm sure there'll be more. It's sort of warm here, I'm sitting in the sun, but just as I'm speaking, I'm just sweating, like drip, drip, drip sweating. That's, that happens when there's energy running through that is of a higher consciousness from another dimension, and streams of energy just come through and it's very clear, and the body will drip with sweat. Not to mention I'm on heat. So I am, and a few of my sisters are working on rebuilding this goddess empire, and everyone is involved in that. Everyone has a place. So please, if you have any questions, you need any support in coming home to your own bleed, if you're a brother and you want to know anything at all, the most beautiful thing is to be asked by a brother, what help me understand, or what don't I understand, or anything about any of this. So please feel open and welcome to contact us or any of your sisters, send your mother a message. Thank you so much for being here and being so beautiful, and remember how your life began. Remember where you came from. Remember that you are a miracle, you are pure magic, and that you are actually perfect, and the mother goddess doesn't create imperfection. All of creation is absolute perfection.